Could your next beer bottle be made out of paper? Our theme today, the coated paper packaging. Is paper the future of plastics? John Molander, Open Innovation and Technology Consultant with R&D Products, Processes, and Packaging Innovation, is joining us today to talk about this amazing panel. Good morning, John.
Morning, Gene.
I'm so fascinated with this whole conversation about paper maybe being the future of plastics. What does this mean?
Well, we started first with our panelists looking at biodegradable plastics in the environment, but many of our panelists kept bringing up paper, coming back to that. So our client has posed a new challenge for us around coated paper packaging. What they would like us to do is to find out through our panelists what are the breakthroughs in thin coating technologies and chemistry that could allow paper to actually replace films for liquid packaging. So this is much different than those wax milk cartons that we remember from our youth, but looking now
the ones that would never open correctly?
Yeah, the ones that spilled, and you know it. So looking for this, and particularly for aqueous or water-based sachets, pouches that currently are made out of plastic, are there breakthroughs here that could do this?
So you opened up this conversation to a variety of panelists. Did you get much response?
Oh, we got a fabulous response from our panelists. Clearly, there's a lot of passion. We have a great panel that really reflects a global reach that they have. I'm impressed with both the depth of knowledge and the breadth of knowledge that the total panel represents in anything that deals with the environment, but particularly dealing with degradation of materials in the environment. And there are three of our panelists who really hit it off on this particular theme that we're covering today. The first of this is Adeshola. He's out of Nigeria, PhD in polymer science and the environment, heavily involved in environmental issues throughout Africa, and has a great research capability and is extremely well-read and is put forward a lot of articles that gets our board thinking as we go through this, our panel. The second person I'd flag is Alexander Berdino, and Alexander is out of the UK. He is a nuts and bolts inventor of packaging materials overall, with lots of experience in this field. And so he brings this pragmatic, get-it-to-market perspective that comes with us. The third person I'd flag is Alexandra, and she is out of Los Angeles, and she has lots of system experience and working with NGOs and large organizations to look at the total life cycle of materials. So we get both the broad view, we get the technical view, and we get the go-to-market perspective from these three.
So you've got this great panel, all this great information. How would you surmise your takeaways?
There are three big things, ahas that came out of the work that they put together here. The first is some really big breakthroughs that we're seeing right now in these materials that are coming forward right now that allow them to be liquid tight and to have oxygen barriers so that the materials inside the container do not spoil. So we're seeing that come to place with us. The second piece that ties into this is the ability to mold materials. So they're using paper, and much like you can mold a bottle out of plastic, they are now have techniques that allow them to take paper and mold it into unique shapes that hold their shapes while they're containing liquid materials. And so this is a big breakthrough also in this marketplace. The third one I would flag for us is just the idea that this market of liquid paper packaging that can hold liquids is greatly expanding. We all know it from the juice box that our kids use that's now ubiquitous in the marketplace. More and more companies are transitioning over towards these because they're also finding that the forms that these can take are more efficient than trying to ship sachets or pouches in the marketplace. So that has a benefit for it. So kind of three breakthroughs that we're seeing in that our panelists have brought forward to us. The first point I would identify for us on our first key point that we have is really related to this market explosion that we're seeing. And it's particularly strong in North America and in Europe, but we're seeing this transition also starting to take root in Asia right now as they're taking paper and even recycled paper to be able to go and create these forms, and then using unique coatings that are recyclable or compostable. They're putting those into the marketplace. We expect the Asian market will quickly get up to the same sort of market levels, market penetration that we're seeing for paperboard, liquid-proof paperboard in both the U.S. and in Europe. The second big key issue that we've seen in this, and our panelists gave us just a wealth of information around this, was really the innovations that we're seeing in the world of chemistry for coatings. The thin coatings that prevent the liquid from seeping through the paper or prevent oxygen from going the other direction and spoiling what's inside the container. We're seeing this come from a number of large companies. BASF has a paper coating that they're using right now that's bio-based, completely waterproof, and they claim in their literature that it's also going to be a barrier, made primarily out of cornstarch in what they've done there, and they also are claiming that that's recyclable. Smurfit, which is a very large cartonboard and cartonboard company producer here in North America, we're saying that their technology that they call liquid tight is in the market and gaining strength. It's clearly in the market for juice containers, for milk containers, other pieces that are out there, and replacing plastics in those marketplaces. And their claims are that this is, again, completely recyclable with the paper recycling systems that are in place right now. And since Smurfit uses a lot of recycled paper in the production of their cartonboard, it's in their best interest to make sure whatever coating they put in place there doesn't gum up the works when it comes back the other direction. Two other companies that look real interesting on this too, that take us outside of North America. One is out of Scandinavia, and this is out of Stora Enso. Their Natura product that they're selling, and this is one that's in the market right now, being sold to people who are using this for liquid packaging of milk, soups, juice, spices, water, yogurt, and even detergents and fabric softeners. So they use a proprietary coating that, again, they're making claims that it is completely recyclable with the existing paper recycling systems there in Europe. The last one that I would flag in here is from one of our panelists, Adam Malfowski. And Adam is talking about a chemistry that a company that he owned had developed, so methylene malonate. And these malonate materials are inherently biodegradable, and they are waterproof and can be designed to be barrier coatings. So he is putting those forward as an option for being able to go and coat materials, in this case coating paper with that. We see products already in the commercial market, and we see new materials like the methylene malonate coming up that can replace the typical plastics that are used right now. Our third point talks about commercial packaging that's being offered into the market right now, and these are coming from a number of places all around the world. One I wanted to just flag for us is from International Paper, which is an enormous paper company providing all sorts of consumer packaging materials. And they're offering some very innovative types of aseptic and liquid type products for a wide range of industries, whether it's food, medicine, consumer goods, to go into the market. So they're providing the endpoint products directly to manufacturers to be able to go and use these. The last one I will flag is from Echo X-Pack, and this is the paper beer bottle. There's also a paper water bottle. I've seen a few of those that are in the market right now also, and they are using molding techniques that are very much like plastic molding, and they inject a slurry of specially treated paper into a mold. They compress it down at very high pressures and heat. It then forms a durable, shelf-stable package that liquids can be packaged into. The beer bottle and the water bottle is in the market right now. The beer bottle with Carlsberg has been talked about, and it's been at trade shows, but I don't think you can actually purchase that one in the market. But the water bottle is in the market at the current time.
John Molander, a great job, a fascinating panel. John Molander, Open Innovation and Technology Consultant in R&D Products, Processing, Packaging, and Innovation. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Dan.